What's going on, family? Welcome back to the garden. So, let me be the first to congratulate you and say good job making it through the first half of the warm growing season. We're already halfway through the growing year. Ain't that crazy? Already. And I know by now you guys have already harvested your tomatoes and your peppers and some of y'all melons and um, squash and other zucchini and all that other stuff. I know you guys have already done that and it's been exciting. But we're only halfway through our growing season. We are in zone 8B, and we still have 3 to 4 months left of warm weather to actually grow in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this second half of the season to actually grow more things. And I'm gonna share with you the the plants that we're actually gonna start right now. Some of them we're starting from seed, and some of them we're starting from starts. So either way, whether it's from seed or from start, it's going down in the ground right now. Let's go. One of the first things that we're going to plant more of right now, Keisha just started some flowers from seed. She's growing zinnias, cosmos, and I forgot what the last one was. I'll put it on the screen because I'm going to have to go in the house and ask her, what was it again? And it should. So I'll put it on the screen. But we're putting more flowers in because as your season progresses, your flower, your fruit and your vegetables, they provide that color to the garden that's outside of the green, right? So as we harvest, the trust me, I am not complaining. We are not complaining about having a green garden. Never that, right? But then the yellow's gone, the orange is gone, you know, whatever else you had growing. Once you pick it, once you harvest it, the color is gone, right? So we're just planting more flowers just to keep that pop of color in the garden. You know, we like the purples and the pinks and the blues from the borage. So we're just planting more of that stuff just to continue to provide that pop of color in the garden. That's it. That's really the only reason. And obviously to keep the pollinators active in the garden so that as the fruit continues to flower, the pollinators are already there, right? So that's that. All right. So another thing that we're gonna be growing, we're gonna be starting right now, is gonna be more zucchini and more squash. All right. So that's the zucchini, that's the pumpkins. So we're gonna push it and see because it doesn't. Even though our first frost date is like November 5th or November 4th, somewhere around there, it doesn't always hit. And I remember one year it didn't come until December. Like it didn't get cold until December. It stayed spring. It stayed second spring from like late July, early August, all the way into December. So we're gonna push the envelope a little bit there. And I know some of you guys are like, why waste your time growing something that's gonna take that long to grow? Let me just say this. That's why no one will remember you. But no, we're gonna be starting some more squash because zucchini and stuff, those plants grow fast. They put out a bunch of zucchini. We're not even worried about it at all. So zucchini is number two. The third thing we're gonna plant is more tomatoes. Same thing. Like we still have 3 to 4 months before our first frost date. We're gonna push the tomatoes and see what we can get out of them. We're also going to be planting more peppers. Now, we're not going to plant peppers from seed because for some reason, like everything started off great for us this year in terms of starts. All the peppers we started from seed they didn't make it. They became very stunted and nothing came of them. So with the peppers, we're actually going to be starting those from some starts. We do have some peppers already growing, but I wanted more peppers. Unfortunately, now I'm not going to have the variety that I wanted because we had the Scotch bonnets, they didn't make it. The Chinese, I think it's Chinese um, giant, something like that, that didn't make it. So we had a lot of different peppers that just didn't make it for whatever reason. So now we're just back to the basic peppers, the bell peppers, the jalapenos, stuff like that. But we're gonna throw more in, and we're gonna get more peppers, right? At the end of the day, I guess just gotta say a pepper is a pepper. We're also starting more melons and watermelon and cantaloupe. Once again, we have 3 to 4 months, and The reason why I feel confident in doing it, starting them now is because last year, I want to say last year and the year before, last year and the year before, I planted melons early. Started them and put them in the ground in April or May, and they stayed so small. The plant itself stayed so small until after the heat wave. And the heat wave ended in late June, late July, sometime in August. And after the heat wave, it just took off, right? So I'm like, okay. And we still managed to be able to get a melon. So I figure if we start the melons now, we'll still be able to harvest melon potentially at the end of October. Because 2 years in a row, our melons have been ready at the end of October. So we're starting cantaloupes and we're starting melons right now. And then the last thing that we're going to be starting right now is going to be sweet potatoes, right? And we're going to go ahead and put sweet potatoes and potatoes both in the same under the same thing, right? We're not starting more white potatoes, but we are, because I just don't have the seed potatoes. But the ones that we planted are coming up. They are sprouting, so they are doing pretty good. But we are planting more sweet potatoes because, once again, we have a 3 to 4 month window. Sweet potatoes are normally ready in that amount of time. As long as we can get them out before the first frost kills back the vine, we should be fine. They should have enough time to actually mature and be ready for us to harvest later in the year, right? So we're planting both orange or Beauregard, whichever ones I bought from the store, and we're also going to plant some purple too. And the purple grow really fast. Like they'll vine and develop all this foliage really fast. So I'm thinking that the potatoes will produce pretty fast as well. So, all right, y'all. So that's it. That's what we got going on in our garden in terms of what we're starting right now for the second half of the year. We still have 3 to 4 months. If you have a longer growing season, you can do the same thing. If you have a shorter season, you might want to look into finding those things that don't have as long of a maturity date, right? You don't want something that's going to be 90 days, 120 days. You don't want those things growing right now. You don't want to be starting those if you don't have enough time left. But look at your last frost date and figure out what you can where you can push the limits and what you can actually start growing right now. That's gonna basically extend your spring season. You have your summer season, right? Most of us are used to planting in spring, and I'm guilty of it. Years before, we plant in spring, and then once we harvest and everything was done in July or August, we start prepping for the fall. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to continue to push out some more spring or hot weather, warm weather crops, now's the time to do it. I wouldn't wait too much. Today is July 4th. I wouldn't wait too much longer than this because you want to maximize your time as much as possible. But definitely, if you have the time, get things in the ground right now. Even if you have to go to the store and get them from starts, that's fine. Nobody's judging you for that, right? As long as you grow the food, nothing else matters. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found something valuable out of this video. And we will see you guys in the next one. But until then, there's a video for you guys to watch to follow us on our garden journey. See you guys. The sun is killing me, y'all. See you guys in the next one. Deuces.